Okay, we all know which company invented the term Pro by simply labeling their devices Pro. But what is the meaning of Pro? Let's find out. Hey, what does the word Pro mean?
A professional, especially in sport.
This is an informal term. As a noun, it means a professional, especially in sport. Do you want to hear the next one?
And that's an interesting one. Yes.
As a noun, it means a prostitute. Would you like to hear one more?
Why not?
Why not what?
Neither of those explanations are fitting the term Pro in terms of devices, right? You just heard it right here. I guess the advantage of this, though, is that companies can invent kind of their own definition when it comes to the term Pro and their respective devices. What can we expect of the S Pen Pro? More importantly, what is so pro about it? When I look at all my Samsung devices I currently have, almost every single one of them has a different S Pen, and it is not a fundamental difference, but you can see this right here. My Galaxy Book Flex 2 has an S Pen that can be found on the Galaxy Note phones. Then the S21 has a smaller S Pen, which came with the release of the S21 and is specific to the S21, of course. And then there is the beloved Tab S7 and Tab S7 Plus S Pen. Okay, so let's have a look at all of those S Pens right here. It is kind of messy, wouldn't you agree? And I mean, all of them work across devices, but all of them also behave very differently across all devices. And now, think about the logistics when we go back to full-time traveling, and whether that be a business trip or for personal reasons, you're gonna have your mobile device, you're gonna have your tablet, especially when you go for a longer time, you probably most likely have a laptop on top of that, maybe your Galaxy Book Pro 360. But I know it sounds really silly, but which of these pens will you take with you then? All three, it feels kind of messy, it doesn't add up, and this is where I can see the S Pen Pro coming in full stop. Let's park the features for now, but we will have one single pen for across all the devices, and this is the key message right here. Key message. This is the one. But that's not all. You could simply use one of your current S Pens, right, to achieve all of this, but hold on. In all honesty, I think this is a cleanup operation by Samsung in the name of Pro. When you buy this particular S Pen Pro, and make no mistake, this is in addition to your device, you're gonna have to pay separately for this. It will simply feature the same trademarks across all devices. And to give you one example already, you will have all Bluetooth functions enabled on your mobile device as well as on your tablet. And we will look at the list of compatible devices very shortly and see this as a unified approach by Samsung, or simply as a cleanup operation by Samsung, as I just mentioned. And let me give you an example. Your current Tab S7 or Tab S7 Plus pen has a bunch of air actions you can configure to a certain extent. Like what happens when you press the S Pen button and perform a certain movement like this. In addition, you can do the same for certain applications like PowerPoint or Samsung Notes. And the idea here is that you have one single source of input, which is the S Pen Pro here, for multiple devices. But the single source of input will behave exactly the same on multiple devices, meaning you have the exact same configuration for your mobile device and your tablet. For example, opening a PowerPoint on your Tab S7 with your S Pen Pro and navigating through it will be exactly the same procedure as on your mobile device right here. To be specific, the S Pen Pro will support the following devices with a unified approach, meaning it works the same and behaves the same across those devices. By looking at the FCC certification, we can already identify the upcoming support for the S Pen Pro on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold, Z Fold 3, and that's a given, amongst many other devices. What is interesting though, I don't know if you have spotted it, but have a look again. I'm going to put it up here again. It says 5G for certain devices on there. So what does this mean? Does this mean it's only available on these devices where it says 5G? So the Galaxy Z Fold, Z Fold 3 will only be, or the S Pen Pro will only be supported on the 5G version? Because the reason why I say this, when you look at the Tab S7 and Tab S6 and so on and Note, it doesn't mention the 5G whatsoever. No further comment here. To round it up in terms of unified approach, it became very clear by looking at the FCC certification that the S Pen Pro has an integrated battery which can be charged via USB-C. That kind of makes it easier for traveling because you have that one single pen, one single input with you at all times across all your devices. differences here. When we go back to the 3 S Pens I have chosen for today's video, the middle one is the Flex 2, then you have this one for the S21, and this one is for the Tab S7 and Tab S7 Plus, and you can clearly see they have different sizes and different dimensions altogether. This one, I mean, this is the older Note pen, right? The S Pen, we all know this. But what I wanted to say here is, because of the integrated battery and the USB-C charging for the S Pen Pro, I believe it could be slightly bigger than the one we have on a Tab S7 or the Tab S7 Plus, but take it with a pinch of salt. It is a current guess of mine. It kind of makes sense to have a bigger S Pen because you want to have a comfortable grip and a comfortable writing experience, especially when it is a Pro version and you have it with you at all times for all these devices for a long-term use. And guys, let me know how pro you think the S Pen Pro will be. You know the drill. Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I miss you. Peace out.